everyone. Hey, welcome to an art criticism unit. I'm your host, Miss Copera. Oh my goodness, look at those big black blobs. I am, for this unit, drawing on an iPad. It's true. I got it because I was like, oh man, how am I going to get students to think about art? So I went ahead and I got it because I think it's easier than using a document camera. But you, my beautiful students, you are sketching in your sketchbook. Hey guys, this is kind of like a creative and fun way for us to do fire rights. We will call this the first video in some series that's a little longer about us analyzing paintings. Do you have your materials out? So our first step, and I'm going to make sure I'm going light with my pencil, right? Again, I'm drawing with this weird device that is useful, and I have because I'm a grown-up, but you're drawing with your pencil. And one day when you do a painting like this, or you become a business owner and donate a bunch of money, you will buy all of my students iPads so everyone can have iPads. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. So what we're doing is we are drawing this, and you're like, say what? And I'm like, yes, you are going to go ahead and you are going to sketch it because we are going to work on seeing, and I am seeing something out of the X-Files right now. Guys, drawing is seeing. I've been telling you all of the time, it really is. Drawing is seeing. And so I'm drawing this weird alien person, and I'm wondering why did Edvard Munch draw this alien? Is he supposed to be an alien, or is he a victim of the time period? I've had students say, like, when we're doing this unit, they're like, oh, wow, I should really, like, look at the year that this was done. So I actually don't know the year. Oh, my bad, when this was made. I know it's 2021 right now when I'm filming this, but when was this made? So pause. Did you write the name of the piece? This is called Der Schrei, which in the German means scream, the scream. Der Schrei, or the scream. This is the name of the piece. And the artist is Edvard. I don't know if I'm spelling this right, so no judgment. You know, I taught English, and students would be like, oh my God, you teach English, you can't spell. So then I stopped. No, just kidding. So yeah, I'm not spending forever drawing this. And for this first one, I went ahead and I picked some classics. So this, why am I picking this painting? Because you guys have seen this painting before. You probably have, maybe not. So I'm noticing two people in the distance. It's okay if you draw them like blobs. Hello, this is not supposed to be perfect. Not supposed to be perfect. You can draw them as blobs. And, you know, do little waves, do your marker. And yeah, I'm noticing a lot of wavy and expressive lines. I'm seeing that there's kind of like a bridge happening. There's converging lines. And I'm seeing all of these waves. Whoa. Whoa. My goodness. Right? But I'm not going to draw in detail. But all of it, look at this. By drawing it, I'm realizing, OMG, this thing is filled with converging lines. So there you have it, everyone. But we are not done. Okay, how long have I been spending doing this? Hopefully no more than 5 minutes. You want to go ahead and you want to maybe take a moment to put some color in. Drawing all, he is surrounded by dark value. Blue is the darkest value, people. Okay, and he's surrounded by like browns and oranges. I love orange because I'm team orange at my school. Don't hate. And then we got some reds. And then, look, if I was drawing this, I wouldn't have noticed this little poquito green. And then I'm seeing a little bit of green here, not too much. You guys are like, where is the green? And then this person is, these ominous people in the back. Ooh, you could add some like color pencil, some yellow. We got all these yellow lines everywhere. We got like yellow lines. And guys, look, you're not getting graded on this being perfect. I mean, look, This guy is in pain because look at this world he's in. It's like messed up. Don't judge it. You guys are like, ew. My students are like, always like, ew, what's wrong with your art? I'm not going to listen to you. Look how messy you draw. But that's the whole point. Like, art can be messy. You know, I think like students, you guys are like afraid of people judging you. Don't worry about being judged. I am doing this on an app called Notability. Anyone who's out there who's wondering. Oh, right. That's my fast sketch. How'd I do on time? Can someone look? Pause your video, draw it. Do not spend an hour drawing this. Okay, we're going to move on. The point of this assignment is we're going to go ahead now. We're going to take notes on it. Okay, but take a moment, sketch it, put it, post it. Okay, see all the details. You could take as much time as you want, my students. Hey, more reason to ask for extra credit later. Take as much time as you want, but at the same time also move on because you got other classes. I know you got a life. And yeah, keep adding on. This is my least favorite part of the video when I have to stop drawing and we have to start thinking. But thinking is good. It preps us for college leadership and life and all that jazz. And all that jazz. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now let's go through the different steps. All right, guys, and rock and roll. We're just going to keep moving. Blah, blah. It might be engaging. No, miss, you're saying a lot. Our next step, and, you know, in class we've been annotating too, like we annotate the drawing. But I'm just thinking about some of my students that call me extra. So you can make a graphic organizer by dividing your page. You have your drawing, and then on the opposite page, you could divide your page into 4. The 4 steps of art criticism are, should I make that fatter? Yes. To describe. The second step is to interpret. Interpret. The third step. No, wait. Oh, my. Did you write that? Oh, my bad. Maybe I'll remember to edit that out. The second step is to analyze. Analyze. The third step is to interpret. I can make this smaller while I'm writing this. Ooh, that's bigger. Interpret. The fourth step is judgment. Fabulous. Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, describe. First step. Describe is when you explain the elements of art and everything that you see. And you learn a lot of stuff when you draw it. So you could do this in list format. I'm completely fine if you do it. But one thing you can do is you can just number 1 to 3 and think, okay, what 3 elements am I going to talk about? Now for me, some things I noticed when I drew were it was line, color, and what else did I notice? I mean, line and color. Did I talk about anything else? Line, color. I can't talk about movement. That's a principle. Maybe shape. Oh, that's fun. We haven't talked about shape. Okay, line, color, and shape. And, you know, I don't do this in all of my videos where I pick 3 to focus on, but I do think it's a good strategy because students, you might get overwhelmed. You might be like, oh my gosh, she's extra. I'm not doing it. She's having us do too much. I want you to move ahead. I want you to do something. So line, the line is wavy. And you can just list wavy, expressive. It's also sharp, uncomfortable, It makes me think of water. There's nothing wrong. Wavy, expressive, so much repeated that it creates texture. So you could talk about more than one element. Texture. It creates a rough and uncomfortable texture. As far as color, throw up color palette. Yes, I just said that. Right now, obviously, you guys can pause your video and write what you're seeing. The point of this exercise is that you're not copying everything I'm writing, right? You're also thinking about your own, but you could steal my ideas. It's kind of like a throw up color palette. What do I mean by that? Puke, green, orange, red, dizzy. It's like a dizzy blue. Right? And remember, in this unit, we're learning that artists, they do everything on purpose. There is a reason for this because it's showing a feeling, right? He's trying to communicate something to the audience. Okay, the shapes are very organic because they're wavy. They are not ordered. Even the characters in the back are kind of like wavy, and it's almost like they're ghosts. They're dead. This whole thing is reminding me of Dementors. Shout out to Jose. Harry Potter. Woo-hoo. Shape, organic. It is not ordered. It's sort of a chaotic, watery environment. And then another step, you also want to just talk about, I'm changing the color because we're getting a little bit away of the elements, but you also want to talk about everything you see. Alien, man in front. That would be the foreground. 2 creepy men in background. By scary as frick sky. But it's by a scary sky. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and list those. Yes. List everything you see. And yeah, I probably, you could talk about this eerie, weird pond. Are these boats? I don't know. Is this a lake? What is with this river that's pouring on his head? You could talk about the bridge. I didn't even mention the bridge. But I ran out of space. But you write what you see. Hopefully it's different from what I saw. And it can be messy. And again, you're going to post this. So yeah, pause your video. Turn to your partner. What else are you seeing? What else are you seeing? Okay, thanks, guys. And then we're going to go on to the next step. Pause and catch up. Okay, guys, we are back. Hopefully you stopped and you added your own description. You paused your video. Next step, and am I on? Is the microphone on? Yes. Next step is to analyze. So we've been analyzing in green, but obviously you can use any sort of pen. Analyzing has to do with the principles of design. Again, I tell my students to go ahead and ask themselves, what is the focal point? Where does the I enter? That is emphasis. How is it unified? And what is the visual balance? I think I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to talk about movement, the movement of the eye for this one. Okay, but you could also talk about visual balance. Is the weight heavy on both sides? I would say yes, it is, because there is so much red, intense, heavy color. And then talk about this guy. This guy, our eye goes right here. But then we're also drawn up to here. It's almost like the man and this weird wave. They connect the heavy bottom and the heavy top. But I'm not going to talk about that right now because it's too much to write. And we're just trying to get this done and learn art and get our credits and think about art and have fun. So obviously my focal point is, you could circle your focal point. on your drawing. Now you could disagree. Is it this or is it these guys because of the converging lines? Do we have two focal points? Well, I would say you could argue that, you know? So you could say the main, let's say call it the main FP. The main FP. Yo, yo, yo. The main focal point MFP. That's funny. Anyone else think that's as funny? No. The main, I need to make this skinnier. I'm running out of space. The main focal point is the scary alien guy. Scary alien guy. Yes? No? Maybe so? The main focal point is the scary alien guy. He looks terrified. You could write about that. This is the main focal point because a lot of wavy, dark lines. I'm running out of space. Oh my gosh. Go in his direction. And you could go ahead and write about that. Like you got all of this river pointing down at him. Or you could argue that this is the focal point. You got all the converging lines going towards these guys. But you decide, or you could talk about how there are two. As far as unity, I'm going to make this a smaller pen. Wow. Why is it unified? Okay. I mean, is it unified? I don't know. No one knows. Right? So we got the repetition of the lines. Repetition of wavy lines. The color palette is limited. Color is limited to red, blue, and like these puke colors. And a lot of black. We didn't talk about that. You could go back here and write about the dark value. Because I didn't think about that. Like a lot, like there's hardly any white. Right? So notice how I'm coming up with things that are going to help me with the theme. Movement. Gosh, it's left to right and it's top to bottom. And it's circular. But I'm going left to right here. Then I'm going up and down here. And then this wavy river kind of sends me in a circle. So again, you know, we got up and down movement right here. Let me pick another green. Up and down movement here. Back and forth right here. And this like river has us going all over the place. So much. So much. My bad. So much is the artist trying to make us dizzy? That is my question for you. Okay, so analyze, describe, fabulous. So go ahead, pause. I mean, you know, you could write more in detail. You could write about the visual balance. You could talk more about the converging lines going to these guys. There's so much you could write about. Okay, it's mostly factual for analysis for this box, but then again, it could get more into the opinion. Because again, you could be arguing like, no, this is the focal point. No, this is the focal point. These guys in the back. No, alien man is the focal point. So go ahead, pause. And then talk with your partner for 2 to 3 to 5 minutes in the chat. What do you really think is the focal point in Rye? Why? I really want you guys to pause your video. All right, it looks like I'm back on. Hopefully you paused your video. You had a little chatty McChatterson with your partner. Love it. Here we go. Next step is interpretation. And I'm trying to get to my pen tool. Interpretation. That's when you go ahead and you write about the theme. The theme is the message. So when brainstorming about the message, I would think about your main symbols, and I would just do a little map about, okay, well, what are my topics? What are my main ideas before I write my whole sentence? Themes should be in a sentence. I don't know. We're screaming, so terror, pain, war, humanity being all messed up. It's okay. We'll get it together, guys. Art will save us all. Being sick, because I feel nauseous when I look at this, and I'm starting to almost be excited for when this video is done. Terror, pain, war, humanity, being sick. I don't know, like being paranoid. I'm worried that these guys in the back are going to get him. So what is he saying, right? That other people cause pain? The environment, how the environment and the world can impact an individual is toxic. I mean, it looks like this weird river is poisoning him. So again, when you think about topics, when you're trying to brainstorm, you're like, okay, what are the topics? I'm telling you right now that you want to think about the symbols. Okay, like what do the different things in my painting represent? That's the main question. So as far as a theme, a main question, again, I would pause your video and write your own, guys, instead of just stealing mine. I mean, I'm not going to call it stealing. That's wrong. But instead of just copying mine, I want you to think. Write your own theme. So pause your video. Talk to your partner. What'd you guys talk about? Okay, so hopefully you unpaused your video. Love it. Hopefully you unpaused your video. And here we go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about what are we learning. Is this thing still on? Yes, we're still recording. So we want to start with the artist. So Edvard, please forgive me if I misspell your name wrong. Spirit of the Scream. Paints der Schrei. Of course you can capitalize it. In order to help the audience. This is my word bank again. So I'm looking at my words to understand how a toxic environment, because this is toxic, environment can poison an individual. Edvard Munch paints Der Schrei in order to help the audience understand how a toxic environment can poison an individual. Okay, go ahead, stop, self-monitor. Are you using the different topics that came up from the symbols to help the audience understand how a toxic environment can poison an individual? You can write a few more sentences about how humans impact each other, humans cause each other pain. You could write this about war. I mean, there are all sorts of different directions you could go with the theme. Obviously, you could write about paranoia and humanity, right? But as long as you can back it up with evidence, and evidence is what we see in art, you could explain where you think this lesson is coming from, then your theme is right, guys. Okay? So go ahead and take a moment, stop, and write your own theme if you haven't done so already. What does this painting mean to you? Talk to your partners. Talk to each other. Talk to each other in the chat. Okay, guys, we're back. So hopefully you paused your video and you chatted with your team, your partners about what the theme is, or you went ahead and you text your friend, or you watch the video of the debates. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, we got a lot of red, and I mean, this is like an intense photo or painting. I do think this is a good work of art because Now, this is what I think. What do you guys think? Because it is unified and is helping me to understand a universal truth about humanity, being, how toxic environments and people can really impact each other. You would go on to write, I would also back it up with evidence, anything you see. So remember to explain your why, always. Explain why with evidence, and evidence in art class is what you see. So back it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, pause your video and keep going. Okay, keep going. You can totally do your fire rights like this. It is more than fine. And then again, just a reminder, don't spend forever drawing. And you are going to just learn. We're learning how to interpret art. We're backing it up with what we're saying. We're describing, we're analyzing, we're interpreting, we're judging a painting. Thank you so much for watching. And turn in what you have. Post. There's no wrong answer. The only wrong answer is to not do your work. Okay, have a good day, guys.